All right, well, we'll get started. Again, my name is Ryan Creech. I'm the reservation director for Gerber Scout Reservation this summer. Looking for a great summer that's coming up in 2019. I do have everyone muted, so if you have a question, please utilize the chat option. Uh, at the bottom, there should be an option to select chat, and you can type questions in if you need them. I will send everyone a quick note so you can see it should be blinking orange here in just a second. So if you have a question, again, please go ahead and just throw it into the chat log, and there'll be a question and answer section at the end that we can cover a lot of those comments and what have you. So we will be having these every first Sunday of the month starting at 8 o'clock. We'll cover all various different information and things to help get us prepared and ready for this summer. So let's start off. The first things, what's new? Well, we've got some brand new leader guidebook for books for both camps. We're working on the Cub Scout one right now. Should have that done pretty soon. New leadership at the camp. We've got RJ Vancouvering as the Boy Scout camp director and Dan Oler as the program director for the Boy Scout side. On the Cub Scout side, we have Andrew Brown and Spencer Snow. All the guys have been on camp staff in the past. Here's some pictures of them right there. We'll have some new programs. We'll have a new thought on staffing the camps leading up into this summer. We're going to do a lot of training for the staff leading up to camp because we heard that there was a lot of camp was not ready as well as it should have been last year. So we're focusing on that. We'll have new customers this summer. We'll have girls joining us, which will be a very exciting twist to the summer camp season. New themes, new flair, new leader roundtables monthly. Like I said, with these going on, we're in works of developing a new CIT plan for helping new staff joining the summer. We'll have a few new wow items. So again, the leadership is RJ Vancouvering there on your left. He spent a lot of time on the Cub Scout resident camp up there at Betty Ford Adventureland. Dan Oler was one of the program directors last year. We brought him back. Andrew Brown comes from Troop 228 out of Rockford and has been in the camp staff for a while. And Spencer Snope was in our aquatics area last year at the Boy Scout side and is now going to be our program director on the Cub Scout side. Currently, we're still working to fill a few positions. We had for one round of interviews back over Christmas break. We had about 83 interviews that we held, and then we just had another round of interviews last weekend where we had another 12 or 15 individuals that we went through and did virtual interviews with the same platform. So currently, we're looking for 3 more aquatic staff positions. If you have any scouts that would be interested in any of these positions listed here, feel free to give them my information or turn in a staff application found on the forms and resource page on the Michigan Scouting website. We're looking for an archery senior staff director, someone to run the archery range. 2 high adventure staff. Again, we'll get into what the high adventure area is later on. Eagle Quest director, we're trying to identify an adult for that position, someone over the age of at least 25. We need 1 more Eagle Quest staff, 1 more ecology staff, 1 more handicraft staff, 1 more scoutcraft staff. We're looking for a couple kids out at the range. So if you got any scouts that are 16 and would really like to spend the whole summer instructing kids how to shoot 22s and shotguns, that'd be a great position for them. Trading post, we're halfway there. We're just looking for 2 more individuals. Health officers on both sides, both Boy Scout and Cub Scout. If you know anybody that has any experience in EMT or any of that kind of stuff, please send them my way. Dining hall staff, this would be the front of the house, working with the scouts with getting the tables set up and that kind of stuff. Two of those individuals working on reaching out. There are 9 food service directors in the public schools surrounding camp that we're currently going to heading out to go talk to, and hopefully we can pick up the food service director and the 5 food service cooks / preps from that adventure. And then on the Cub Scout side, we only have 1 position left, 1 superintendent chief, which starts at the age of 16. One of the new places at camp that we're working on developing is a new leader lounge. In the background there, you see that's the tech center. We're going to turn that into a leader lounge and have computers set up and desks set up, so almost like a business suite for when you go to a hotel, so that you guys can have the opportunity to go in there and utilize those computers whenever you feel need, and the area directors can use it as an area as well to record all of the merit badge advancement and make that a real successful operation for everyone. So these are the two leader guidebook covers. I will exit from the PowerPoint and dive into the leader guidebook for the Boy Scout side.
Good.
Sorry.
This is Dick Bowles. I just got on.
Hi, Dick.
How are you doing tonight?
Pretty good.
You know you scheduled it during the Super Bowl, did you?
Yeah, I did.
Oh.
Can everybody see the leader guidebook? And Dick, you're not going to be able to see it because you're on the phone, but I'm going to mute you real quick, okay? All right, so welcome home. On the right-hand side, you'll see our mission statement this summer, where we're focusing on a legendary Scout experience. Now, what you ask is, what is a legendary Scout experience? It's a 95% overall camp service rating, trying to exceed that 95%. On the left, there's a little bit of history about the Gerber Scout Camp and the reservation. On the right would be the table of contents, introduction letter, and you'll see here some of the areas. So one of the new areas that we have is the high adventure area. High adventure area was designed for all Scouts 13 years of age or older. There was a strong communication about how we needed a better older Scout programming. So we took the cope and climbing area and added a couple staff and turned it into the high adventure area. And so this summer we'll have fat tire biking, open mountain boarding, ice climbing, ATV program for the Scouts, and an older Scout adventure where each day is a new experience. We're pretty excited about that area. Next, you'll see aquatics. Aquatics pretty much stayed the same. The only thing we did was we added the rowing merit badge. One of our WOW projects or WOW items this year are paddle boards. So we offered 2 sessions, 2 one-hour sessions for the older Scouts to sign up, or any Scouts, during the course week so that they could become proficient with paddleboarding. Otherwise, the paddle boards will be available from 4 to 5 during the free hour. For the Eagle Quest area, there was a lot of talk about how it's a very busy area and there wasn't a lot of staff last year. So this year we decided to retool how we ran the Eagle Quest area. So we're offering 2 sessions of the Eagle Quest, 2 2-hour sessions. So your Scouts can sign up for either an AM or a PM session. Those sessions will run from 9 to 11 and then 2 to 4, leaving an hour from 11 to 12. And instead of just making that an open period, we've put the first aid merit badge in that session So there will be 2 sessions of first aid merit badges running from 11 to 12, and then the health officer will pick up additional sessions from 10 to 11 and 3 to 4. Shooting sports. This year there was a lot of talk about how the shooting sports the rifle shooting merit badge needed a little bit longer time. So instead of offering 3 sessions at an hour long apiece, we were going to offer 2 sessions at an hour and a half, so the kids have a little bit more time to shoot. And we're also changing the shotgun and rifle around, so rifle will be in the morning and the shotgun will be in the afternoon. There was a lot of talk about how the kids that were shooting the shotguns were having trouble because when they're trying to see their targets, the sun was in their eyes, and it just didn't really make sense to doing the shotgun merit badge that early in the morning. We've added an additional open archery shoot time from 10 to 11. So anybody that's interested in trying out the bows and arrows can do that from 10 to 11 and 4 to 5. Toccasin Longhouse, we added the communication merit badge and the fly fishing merit badge. We've also are going to put a strong emphasis behind the Order of the Arrow with this area, really helping scouts learn how to build their regalia, learn how to dance, drum, all kinds of stuff OA related. Scoutcraft, one of the things that we're working to do is take the welding merit badge and include it into the Scoutcraft area so that it's all under one house. We also added emergency preparedness merit badge to this area. A lot of the merit badges have pretty much stayed the same for Scoutcraft. Ranger Charlie is going to offer painting this year from 11 to 12. They'll be taught just outside of the front of the shop, Ranger shop. Handicraft pretty much stayed the same. Environmental science, we changed up some of the merit badges there. We added oceanography, geology, fish and wildlife management, and forestry. So hopefully your scouts get a real kick out of some of those new merit badges there. We're always looking for commissioners for help. If anybody is interested in spending a week up at camp as a Gerber Scout camp commissioner, feel free to reach out to any of our leadership team, and we'll put you in touch with Randy Meyer, who is our camp commissioner. Order of the Arrow is continuing on this summer. The induction fee for ordeals will be $35. Make sure that you bring that with you. In the guidebook, it explains all of the Order of the Arrow activities, everything from Monday to Friday night, and what things we'll be doing Order of the Arrow related. If you are coming from a lodge outside of the Michigan Cross or the United Pushope Lodge, please make sure to bring a letter of written permission from your lodge stating that your scouts can be called out during the Wednesday night ceremony. Trainings, we're offering a few new trainings this year and offering trainings at different locations. So one of the big things is we're taking the Introduction to Outdoor Leadership Skills training, and we're going to try plugging that into the Eagle Quest area. So from 9 to 11 and 2 to 4, we'll be offering this training. And those adults interested in taking this training will work hand in hand with a lot of those scouts that are learning the skills that you'll be learning with them as well. Another new training that we're going to offer this summer is Introduction to Conservation and Scouting. So, you know, I know a lot of the unit leaders are taking scouts out on hikes and doing high adventures and things in the woods, and we just want to provide an opportunity for you to learn a little bit more about what you could do while out in the woods with your scouts related to conservation and nature. How to expand some of those learning opportunities while you're out on hikes and on your own adventures. Eddie, who worked in the kitchen last year and has worked on camp for a number of years, has put together this Gerber puzzle, which is a program designed to experience all the little areas of camp. And it's still in the works, but it's going to be really neat, and we encourage you to check it out. So you'll see here, this is the daily and weekly schedule. Not much has changed. It's pretty standard. Every day we'll be running merit badge programming from 9 to noon and 2 to 4. 4 to 5 will be open areas for non-merit badge activity, unless a scout wants to continue working on a merit badge that he had done. One of the things that we have done over on the week, you'll see on the weekly schedule side, is we are going to include chapel right in with our opening and closing fire bowls. We noticed that chapel was very lightly attended last year during that time, so we figured it's probably best just to include it and make it part of the program. In here, you'll notice it'll explain when waiters should be to lunch or to the dining hall, and when the leader meetings are, and all that other good stuff. So make sure to pay full attention to a lot of this and read through this guide pretty extensively. Okay, so here's the activity schedule for the week. This is on page 13. This is probably what you and your scouts will be looking at really quickly here. Kind of you can see like canoeing and swimming and rifle shooting, welding, and metalwork. If there's a scout that takes an hour-and-a-half long merit badge, encourage them to pair that up with another hour-and-a-half long merit badge. The last thing that we want to do is have a scout with idle free time while he's at camp. But we want to try and make sure that he is doing as much as he can, wherever he can, whenever he can. Okay, so make sure to look into that. This you can kind of see here each of the areas and the different merit badges they offer when they offer them. You can see this high adventure area and all of the different older scout adventure piece that I was talking about earlier. Like Monday, they're going to go do motorboating / tubing, water skiing. Tuesday, they'll do horseback riding. Wednesday will be mountain boarding. Thursday will be a canoe river trip, and Friday will be a fat tire bikes. Now, a lot of this activity we're partnering with the WASA, so they have limited numbers of spaces, and this older scout adventure is going to be a limited participation. So not every scout will be able to do it, but when the merit badge classes open, make sure to get those spaces filled up as quick as you can with your older scouts. I would encourage you, if you have scouts that are 13 years of age or older, have them experience the COPE adventure. You know, this is a combination of high and low COPE activities, and it's really a lot of fun. The kids that participate in it get a lot out of it, and we also added an open COPE from 11 to 12. So for those that just wanted to go try out one of the high ropes course or the low ropes course, it's going to be open COPE for different sessions or different levels. So Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, the high COPE course will be open from 11 to 12, and then on Tuesdays and Thursdays, just the low COPE course will be open. You can see down here. All of the Eagle Quest activity. So one of the big things I will note is for second class scouts that do the 5-mile hike, they will be running into this 11 to 12 and 4 to 5 hour time frame. So because that hike does take us at least 3 hours or more to do most of the time. So if a scout has another merit badge scheduled that day on Tuesday and is going to miss it, we just got to make sure that they communicate that with their merit badge counselor of their other course, so that they can make up that work later on. On page 14, this is a new type of format for the leader guidebook. You'll notice that up here there are levels of difficulty. So our team has provided this list to the President Ford Advancement Committee, to review and make sure that all of the prerequisites and everything on here is as 100% as we can make it. But the levels of difficulty also were reviewed, and what it basically is if it's a C rating, it's an easy merit badge activity, basically appropriate for one of your first year scouts or young beginning scouts. A B rating is appropriate for advanced scouts with 2 or more years in scouting, and an A rating is a difficult merit badge appropriate for your older scouts with 3 or more years in scouting. Okay. Now, I will say that this 5th column over where it says prerequisites, these are the requirements that are needed to be done either before you come to camp or after you leave camp. I would encourage you to work with your scouts to get those requirements done before you come to camp, so that way when they leave camp, they are completing the merit badge 100%. This far right column where it says comments is just basically comments. These are just things to prepare you and your scouts before you get to camp. You know, just things like for astronomy, requirements 6B and 8, those are very weather dependent. So if it ends up raining up at camp or the weather's bad, it's going to be hard for us to complete that at camp. So it then will become either some type of, could possibly be a prerequisite. But we're going to do everything we can to make sure we do those. If they were to work and do those ahead of time, it would just be more experience that they would get with that individual requirement. So all of it's listed here, the starting times of each individual merit badge, where the merit badge is held, the length of the merit badge, and the prerequisites. This is kind of nice because you could print this out on a print pages 14 and 15 back to back. You can basically hand these out at one of your unit meetings, and the kids could highlight any of the merit badges that they're thinking about doing. For the ATV program, they will be heading over to the Owassipee area. I'll have to come back to some of these questions. We'll get to those during the open question period. So evening activities. We're bringing back some of the camp-wide activities and fun. Monday nights will be focused on kind of a rodeo. So if your kids have cowboy hats or want to come to camp, bring a little cowboy spirit to camp. Monday nights we'll be taking the entire camp and doing a bunch of rodeo-style camp-wide fun. Tuesday night will be themed as Ninja Warriors, so we'll have some cool challenge courses and activities related to that. Wednesday night is our traditional potluck and Order the Arrow call-out ceremony. Thursday is the Order the Arrow Ordeal and Brotherhood ceremonies, as well as our first ever Gerber Scout Camp Parade. This parade is designed for your younger scouts that aren't in the Order of the Arrow. One of the things that we will be doing is we encourage each unit to bring a wagon that you would, take to the beach. And while you're at camp or before you get to camp, decorate it as a float. And then one of your youngest scout in the troop is the one to ride in that wagon. And we're going to march around the camp and have a bunch of fun, and then we'll end up and do a bunch of carnival-style games. Friday night's our traditional fire bowl. Looking to really have a great celebration there and recognize those scouts that have done some outstanding things during the week, and some of those adult leaders and what have you. Merit badge tracking, we'll continue to use the Black Pug service for the merit badge tracking. We're going to do everything we can to make sure that that's seamless this year and on target. Merrill dining hall procedures, pretty standard. One of the things I do want to mention about the dining hall is that this summer I would like to try and bring back the family style dinner. We will not be doing the cafeteria style serving for dinner. We're going to try and switch that back to the way we used to do it with the family style, and the waiters come in, they get their bowls, and you sit down as a group and enjoy that dinner. Check-in procedures are pretty similar as the past years. Make sure to be there at 2 o'clock. We want to start promptly at 2. You can arrive early if you like, but hang out in the parking lot. We will start at 2 o'clock with our team and our guides taking you around to the dining hall, doing your med checks, doing your swim checks, and then lastly, if you'd like a tour, we can give you a tour. The first leader meeting will start promptly with your SPL and your one of your acting scoutmasters at 5 p.m. at the main camp pavilion. Campsite requests, you can do all those. Email Charlie Brown at charliebrown@scouting.org at least 30 days prior to camp. One of the new things this year is t-shirts. So if you haven't noticed in the Black Pug system, you can order a t-shirt for each of your scouts or participants, however many actually you want. But the cool thing is that there will be a space to write on here the week that you're in camp and the troop that you're with when you get here. These t-shirts will be bagged up and ready for you when you walk in the door. If you end up needing to exchange for a different size, we will have the t-shirts available in the store. It's just a lot easier than trying to get them when you get up here. We'll be doing the same thing with the troop photos, so that way you don't have to worry about going down to the office and squaring that all up. Troop photos will be available to purchase through the Black Pug system. All of this will close May 6th with the final payment. If you've missed it and and you want to still do it, you can always pay for your troop photos when you get to camp, or stop in the trading post and buy these shirts when you get to camp as well. But I would encourage you to check this out and try this one year. I think it would be pretty sharp to see all your scouts walk around with the same shirt and what have you. Summer camp employment, we're always looking for the best scouts on our staff. If you have scouts that are interested in being a CIT, a counselor in training, or working one of the areas this summer, have them visit Michigan Scouting under the Outdoor Adventures Forms and Resource tab. There's a application there for camp staff. They can submit one of those, and we will reach out to them and get them all signed up and ready to go. Sessions this year run from June 16th all the way to August 3rd. Session 2, June 23rd to the 29th, is actually closed right now. We've exceeded our maximum capacity. I would encourage you all, if you haven't signed up yet, to get signed up and try and shoot for one of the sessions between 1 and 6. In the Leader's Guidebook, there's a link to a promotional video. If you'd like to show that at one of your troop meetings, feel free. There's a number of different videos on the website under the Outdoor Adventures tab. This gets into all the what to bring and what you should do before you get here and all that kind of stuff. I would encourage you just to kind of read through this and be familiar with it. I really just wanted to kind of highlight some of the programmatic changes and things that we're doing so you guys knew what was going on. I will say that camperships, make sure if you are going to apply for a campership that you do that in a timely fashion. All the information on how to apply and what have you is in this Leader's Guidebook, along with there's a worksheet. So before you go, all of it's done online, but they've created a worksheet so you could kind of sit down and fill this out and then have that ready for when you go to punch it into the computer. So you don't have to sit there and think about all the stuff before you when you're putting it on the computer. Camp policies and procedures are pretty standard. It's important to make sure to know these and read through these and have any adults that are there with you to understand all of these rules and regulations. We're going to have a whole session based on for one of these roundtables on the policies and procedures. So stay tuned for that. There'll be one closer to camp, so that way you guys are ready for that. One of the other things that we have is we've included these sheets in here that allow you to track what's going on each day. So when we have the leaders meetings in the mornings, you can have a place to write down notes and things that you want to do and who you're going to send for waiters and what's your fun activity for the day and other additional notes. So those will be, that's available for you. And lastly, a camp map. So that's the Leaders Guidebook. I'd encourage you to look through it and read through it and be familiar with it. We've tried to do everything we can to make it sharp and look good this year and be 100%. So moving on. Already kind of talked to you about the evening activities. Talked to you about the t-shirts. Webinars coming up. So again, every first Sunday of the month at 8 p.m. So the next one will be March 3rd. That one will cover what to talk about during a parent meeting. We'll talk about the promotional videos. We'll talk about merit badges and prereqs a little bit more in depth. Make sure we answer all those questions. Talk about camperships in a little more in depth and the family potluck and all those good things. April 7th, we'll highlight again the program areas a little bit more in depth, talk about, you know, what kind of things we'll be doing. We'll probably bring in some of our area directors to introduce you to, so you know who's working there and who's the leadership ahead of camp. We'll talk about service opportunities and how to do a troop shakedown before you come to camp and preparation. And if you're interested in a camp tour before you come to camp, you know, we can provide that as well. Again, like I said earlier, the policies and procedures will be covering May 5th, talking a lot about the 2 deep leadership and youth protection, how to submit it if you have anybody with dietary needs, how to take care of that and where to go and find the form, safety procedures and pre-camp swim checks. June 2nd, we'll actually be doing that from camp with our leadership team, talking about expectations for when you arrive, how the check-in procedure is going to go, what kind of things we'll communicate at the dining hall, swim checks, health checks, and any outstanding questions you may have. Pre-camp tours, again, Joe Singerling, who lives just around the corner from the camp, is always open and welcome to give anyone a camp tour and show them around the property. I'm around the camp enough that if you reach out to me, we could probably schedule a time. I'd encourage you that we try and get a couple people out there instead of just 1 or 2. But feel free to reach out to me anytime. Cell phone number is 616-262-8602. I'm going to put it in the chat column so you have it there. Adopt a campsite. So I wasn't able to grab the information for the Adopt a Campsite, but if you contact Charlie Brown up at the camp, he'll be more than happy to send you some of that information. I know that there's a lot of troops that have already signed up for this. This is a great program to call a campsite your own, have a better chance of knowing what campsite you'll have when you get to camp the best we can. All right, so now I'm going to open up to comments and questions. I'm going to try and hit these the best I can, so I'm going to scroll up to the top. Jim, your question was, for Eagle Quest being cut from 4 hours to 2 hours, does that mean they will get the same content covered in half the time, or will requirements be left out from previous years? So with the Eagle Quest, we will be basically, we took it from a 3-hour to a 2-hour, and then the afternoon was open time for working on additional requirements. We are doing a lot of the like for instance, the cooking stuff. We'll be doing that from the 4 to 5 hour on certain days, and available if kids want to do that. But it'll still be the same quality program. Jim, you asked about the honor ground merit badges missing. So There was a discussion a lot about our preparedness and readiness and the consistency in the merit badge teaching for a lot of the citizenship merit badges and the emergency preparedness, or sorry, emergency not emergency preparedness, the personal management, and a lot of those. What we really tried to do this year was we had 67 merit badges that we offered last year, and we brought those down to about 38. And the reason for that is when I was the operations manager back in 2004, we were offering only 31 merit badges and serving the same number of scouts that we had at camp last summer. So we tried to bring the merit badge ratio between merit badge and camp staff down to closer to a 1-to-1 so we can provide a stronger program and get back to the core merit badges in camp. Honor Ground will not be gone forever. It's just gone for this summer so that we can retool and get back to what we need to do. A lot of the merit badges that a lot of the merit badges at that program area that we just moved to different areas. Like emergency preparedness was at Honor Ground. It got moved over to Scoutcraft. Communications was at Honor Ground. That got moved to Taka's Longhouse. First aid was at Honor Ground. That got moved between Eagle Quest and the health officer. And as far as your question goes about cooking merit badge is a great merit badge for your troop to run. It's really hard and taxing on our staff and the camp. It's a better merit badge to be taught in the troop. So we decided to not do that merit badge this year. There's not saying that we won't ever offer it again, but just this summer we're gonna hold off from offering it. Bonnie, your question was, will merit badge counselors automatically be qualified in the areas for which they are teaching? What training will they receive? So each month we are providing a similar platform for all of our staff. We just had one the last Sunday of last month in January 27th, and out of the 75 scouts that we had identified for working camp this summer, we had about 53 of them on the call, so that was about a 70% participation rate, and we're doing one of those each month leading up to camp, along with 2 full weekend trainings, where each session we're going over all different kinds of trainings to help them prepare them for teaching these merit badges, understanding how to be a teacher, understanding how to work with scouts, learning the EDGE model and a lot of the other models that we teach in the Wood Badge and NYLT and those types of courses. So we're doing everything we can to help make sure that our program staff is 100% before they come to camp. Jim, you had a question. Ice cream offered first-year scouts, OA socials, sometimes dessert. Can Gerber have some non-dairy options available? Yeah, we'll look into that. Just make sure to turn in there's a special dietary form, but I'll try and consider something other than ice cream for some of those things. We are going to have a welcome back party Sunday night. Right after the Fire Bowl, where all of the campers and leaders will be able to meet the staff face to face and have a little fun and enjoy the first night back to camp. Scoutmaster specific training is that Scoutmaster Assistant Scoutmasters $24 or S24 course previously offered, or something different. Scoutmaster Specific is the Scoutmaster Specific course that's offered throughout the other times of the year. Will camp meal menu be posted ahead of the time so that those with specific items? That's a great question, Becky. Asking if the camp menu will be posted prior to camp. We're going to do our best to do something like that. I think that's a great idea. I appreciate that. I'm going to write that down here in just a minute. And then also you said, will refillable drink cups be available this year? Becky, I'm going to unmute you so I can get more insight to your question. Or Becky, you can unmute yourself. I can't unmute you for some reason. Go ahead, Becky. Becky? Well, Becky, I'm not sure I understand your question. We'll move on. Jim, I'm going to unmute you and I need a better understanding of your question there.
Which one? I put like a bunch of questions up there.
The one about agreeing with Bonnie on special diets.
Oh, so Bonnie had said that, you know, sometimes they were waiting in line a long time. Usually they'll call everybody else up first, so they're kind of standing right in front of the doorway, and then they'd end up waiting up there until everybody had gone through, and it bottlenecks the line and stuff like that. So I just remember every week we've gone, there's maybe 6 to 8 people up there waiting for the special meals, and if there was a way they could be moved off to the side or taken care of, because it kind of screwed up the whole line of people coming through, and a lot of times they had to wait till the very end after everybody came through, even though they were called up first. You know, maybe not call them up until they're actually ready, or just do something to try and clean that up a little bit.
Sure. Well, yep. And just so you guys know, I've got a little bit of experience working at the camp, and especially in the kitchen. I spent about 2 or 3 years working in the kitchen, running that the old dining hall before it collapsed. And so at least we've got someone at the helm with a little bit of experience on how to retool that. I'm definitely going to be doing some different things with the kitchen and making it a lot more customer service friendly and quicker and faster. You know, we used to have record time with getting through and serving the meals and getting you back down to your seats. Along with we're going to try bringing back some of those dining hall characters, so we have a little bit more fun in the dining hall while we're there. Becky, you said about 3 years ago the scouts could purchase a cup in the training post that allowed them free refills all week and slushies. I think it was. My scout keeps asking if that's going to come back. Well, I'll give that some consideration. I think that's a great idea. That was always a popular thing. So, yeah, I like that idea, and we'll try. We'll see what we can do to make that happen. All right, Steve, we had the same experience week 1. So yeah, we're going to do our best to make sure that the special dietary people there's a plan in place for that and how they get their food and they get it quickly. All right, are there any other questions? Bonnie asks, will merit badge counselors have any experience and knowledge in merit badges they are teaching, not just training? Well, Bonnie, so a lot of our scouts are 16 to 18 years old. You know, it's pretty tough to identify some of those individuals from colleges and what have you. So we're doing our best to put the kids that are employed in the positions that they find the most excitement and understanding of. And we're gonna do our best to make sure that they know that material when they get to camp. So, yep, we're working on that. As far as food running out, we're going to do our best to make sure that does not happen. So,
hey Ryan, this is Jim again. Can I ask back on the Eagle Quest question?
Absolutely.
If I heard it right, so let's say the scouts sign up either 9 to 11 or I think it was 2 to 4.
Yes.
They'll be doing most everything they normally did, but there would be a few times during the week. You said like in the 4 to 5 would be the cooking portions.
Correct.
Did I hear that right?
Yeah, let me And bring that back up again.
I'm just thinking if they're signing up, and usually like we'd try to sign our kids up for like all in the swimming merit badge in the afternoon. If we need to watch certain times to not sign them up for a merit badge because we know they've got to go back down there during free time or afternoon time, don't want to have them miss out on that.
Yeah, so the Eagle Quest, basically, again, you know, Eagle Quest is all about just practicing those requirements. You know, we do not sign off on any of those requirements as a staff. It's all about learning the craft and learning those different things, and fire starting and what have you. So over here on the right, you can see scouts can practice all cooking requirements for tenderfoot, second class, and first class during the 4 to 5 hour time frame. So that's going to be like the 3 hour activity for Eagle Quest, along with practicing any of the other requirements. Totenship and firemanship will be offered between 10 and 11 each day, Monday through Friday. And then first aid is 2 actual classes, because instead of having 3 staff down there like we had last year, we're planning to have like 6 or 7. So there's going to be a much larger crowd and a better team. So what I want to do is I'm going to go around to each of you, and I'm going to unmute you so that you can have a chance to answer any other comments or questions you have. So I'm going to start with Bo Williams. I'm going to unmute you. Bo?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
All right, great. Bonnie?
Yeah, well, my 2 concerns are definitely Eagle required merit badges. And I realize these younger staff can't have a lot of experience and knowledge in these areas, but some of those Eagle required ones, then maybe we shouldn't be offering them. And I know you did cut down on those, which I think is actually good. And then with the special needs diets, I was one of those people, and I felt so bad for these kids because they waited the entire time in everybody's way and didn't get food until everybody was done eating a lot of the time. So that was a big problem.
That's not right. So we'll do our best. I'll do our best to make sure that does not happen again. So
Thank you.
okay.
Yep.
Anything else, Bonnie?
Not right this minute.
All right, great, thanks. All right, Becky, your mic's not working, so I'm gonna move over to Steve. Steve, you can unmute yourself if you have any questions.
Wasn't so much of a question. Hopefully you can hear me.
I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I thought my mic was messing up a little bit too. Week 1 last year, I had overheard a discussion with one of your other troops where they were offering to set up like a bulletin board for the campsite, and I thought, what a wonderful idea to possibly have little projects that a troop might be able to sign up for a camp if they get signed up to. And then like on top of that is if a troop does make an improvement to a camp, like put up a bulletin board or whatever, have like a little plaque set up of each year that a camp or a troop does that. I thought that might be a really nice thing to help any troop that comes into the camp be part of like the Gerber family, and didn't know if anyone had thought about maybe creating a list of, hey, these opportunities are out there. This is what we could use done if anyone wants to sign up to try it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, that's great. I just worked through Charlie Brown, the ranger up there, and if you have anything or ideas of how to do things like that, just shoot them towards Charlie, and Charlie will do our best to make sure that happens. I really like the idea. I know that there's a lot of units that are utilizing that adopt a campsite program, which is similar to what you're talking about.
Correct.
And there are still some sites that are open and available. So reach out to Charlie if your troop's interested in that. So
fair enough.
All right. Anything else, Steve?
No, I think we covered the food item because that was a big concern from last year.
All right, great. All right, I'm gonna put you back on mute, Steve. Jim.
I think I asked enough already. I'm pretty good.
All right. I'm going to unmute phone number 269-945-7066.
Hey Ryan, this is Al.
Hey, Al. Have any comments or questions, Al?
Yeah, I don't know how to get on my computer to do all your fancy stuff, but hey, I have a comment though. I think you're going to fix that that challenge with the special dietary needs if you go back to the family style, because all the units will already have their food there, so the ones that need the special dietaries can get right into the line. So that's a good call if you go to that.
Absolutely.
You
Absolutely.
know, I will help that eliminate that that challenge for you. So good call on that. Other than that, I don't have nothing going on. I know that there's a bunch of things that Charlie's working on up there. Adopt campsite's really cool. I can do a little bit of information on that if you'd like. Our unit's adopted one. So, you know, get with Charlie. There's always something to do up there.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Al. Anything else, Al?
Not really, not right now. Super Bowl ain't going my way. My numbers ain't coming in, so I think I'm going to bed because I got to leave tomorrow.
All right. Well, I'm gonna thanks for joining us tonight, Al. I appreciate it. I'm gonna put you on mute and all right. The 231-690-0172.
Hello, my name is Dick Bowes. This is very interesting because I have one kid that has diabetes. Okay, and what he had to do every day before he ate, he had to find out what was being served, and then he had to add up his carbs. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but you count your carbs for each meal. And if you walk into the dining hall, on the rightmost door, there was a bulletin board, which they were supposed to put up information on the menu regarding the carbs, which I think I was there in week 6. I think every day I had to go back and hound somebody to get those numbers up on the board. And they apparently come off of the labels on the food. Can we improve that?
Absolutely. Absolutely, Dick.
You know what I'm talking about.
I do know what you're talking about. We used to
Okay.
Yep, we used to have a whiteboard right in the old dining hall that collapsed back when I was there. That we did the same thing. So definitely, we're gonna do our best to make that kitchen and dining hall experience 100% this year. So you got to work with me because we're trying to do a lot of great things for the camp and turn things around. So I'm pretty open to listen and what have you. I just I need everybody's help to make this as great as we can this summer. So if you see something like that, please let me know or let my team know immediately so that we can react on it. And, if you do see something that you see out of line.
Okay, if you go to the family style, you have to be proactive. I think it's somewhere in the front or maybe up on the stage or someplace you have to put the values, the carb values of the food that the kid has an opportunity to consume. So he can sit there with a little calculator while he's looking around at these dishes that are full of food and calculate what he can have.
Sure.
Does that work? That makes sense?
Yeah, absolutely. I understand that.
They just have to be out there before he starts gobbling food down.
Yep.
Okay. That's all I have right now.
Outstanding. Well, thanks, Dick.
Okay.
All right. And so our next roundtable again is going to be March 3rd. It is a much better experience if you join via the application instead of calling in. You get a lot more visual out of it. And I want to thank everybody for joining me tonight for the first of many preparation and leadership meetings ahead, getting ready for camp. I'm going to do my best to be as open and honest as I can with everybody. So the next one, I'm hoping to see a few more people. But thank you all for taking your time out of your Sunday and getting away from the Super Bowl. And looks like we have just a couple more comments before we close. You're all welcome. Thanks, everybody. Talk to you soon.